join me in the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. The Keys Municipal Advisory Council welcomes you to its meetings, which are regularly held on the third Thursday of every quarter, and your interest is encouraged and appreciated. Matters under the jurisdiction of the MAC and not on the posted agenda may be addressed by the general public at the beginning of the regular agenda and any off-agenda matters before the MAC for consideration. However, California law prohibits the MAC from taking action on any matter which is not on the posted agenda unless it is determined to be an emergency by the MAC. Okay, so any member of the public wishing to address the MAC during the public comment period shall be permitted to be heard once for up to 5 minutes unless the chair of the MAC sets a different time limit. Okay. Any member of the audience desiring to address the MAC on a matter on the agenda, please raise your hand at the time that the item is announced by the MAC chair. In order that interested parties have an opportunity to speak, any person addressing the MAC will be limited to a maximum of 5 minutes unless the chair sets a different time limit. Okay, public comment. If anybody wants to come up, please come up to the podium and state your name and address for the record. We are recording this meeting so that we can put it on Key City News and everybody in the community will be aware of everything that's ongoing. Okay.
Hi, I'm Roy Winters, lived in this town all my life. In case some of you don't know me, these guys didn't know me. But anyway, did some of you people that I don't recognize, did you see the flyer I put around town? Anybody? Okay, well, darn. Because I put some flyers around trying to get some people in here and bring your concerns and stuff, so that's what I want to bring up. Okay, I'll get to my normal thing that these guys hear a lot of. Number one is, we used to have a 24-hour sheriff in town, substation, whatever, and that was great. It helped with things that we need to call them and they could be there within a minute, just about anywhere in town. And we need that again. I don't know why they left. Maybe they didn't have enough officers, or maybe they're going to say they didn't have enough taxes. I'm going to say that's not true on any of those counts. I'm sure that Keys is paying enough taxes to have a 24-hour sheriff in town, and I want one to take care of these things that we need to call in about. So he can be in town and be here, and everybody that's doing these wrong things will know that there's a sheriff in town, can be wherever you're at in a minute. So they'll quit doing things like running stop signs, going fast all the time, loud cars nowadays. I'm sorry, I used to have a loud car, but that was 70 years ago. It's different now, times have changed. And so that's one of my main concerns is we need that 24-hour sheriff in here. And I want to hear about how come we're not getting it. Okay, next, thanks for getting those potholes filled. And of course, I talked to him about it before, Public Works. If you're in here and you go on Nunes Road from 9th Street to Keys Road, you know what I'm talking about. They're in the process someday, and they're going to tell me about that again tonight, of putting a pipeline in there, and then hopefully that'll be a new road again. So that's another thing that keeps coming up. But while we're on that subject right there, if you live in this town and you go Keys Road and you come back in Keys Road to turn into town on Nunes Road, there's no right-hand turn lane there. Used to be, and when they realigned the lines there, they put a left turn lane coming into town if you're going east. But there's plenty of room there in the pavement. If you've been out there, you know what I'm talking about. And so they just need to realign that. so that when you're coming westbound on Keys Road, you can get off there and turn without people running over you. Okay, that's another thing, that's Public Works. And of course, if you live in town, you know what I'm talking about needing a 24-hour sheriff to slow these people down, let them know that it's not legal to run these stop signs. I don't know if you know, I'll tell you where I live on the corner of 9th and Liberty. Just a few nights ago, a guy, I don't know if he ran the stop sign or not, but he went through the people's fence across the street, clear into the yard. That's just another thing. That'll go under the sheriff's department. But, you know, that stuff's got to quit. You're going to kill somebody. And then, of course, about having a sheriff in town, I called here last week about guys Saturday night, Sunday night maybe, I don't remember now, but they started before dark and it went on, and at 10 o'clock there's a curfew about loud noise. But even if there's a curfew at 10 o'clock, if you've got loud noise over here and it's bothering the neighbors, you shouldn't be doing that either. I don't care what people do, they can party all night, 24 hours a day, I don't have to hear it. I mean, you know, it's respect your neighbors. And so that's another concern about the sheriff. I did call on this one the other night at 1:15, and they called me back at 2:45, the sheriff. Well, they had quit about 30 minutes after I called them. But anyway, that's what happens. And it's not just one time, it's every weekend. And sometimes during the week. In the summertime. Okay, that's one of the things I need a 24-hour sheriff here for, because he could be there wherever it's at in a minute in this town, because he'll have a telephone. You don't need an office down here like we had. His office is in his hand. He can be in his car, because they can dispatch him. All right. One little thing about the alleys in our town. Years ago, we took care of our own alleys. We had programs to do that. I was informed here last time or something that, the county took over the alleys. Well, the alleys are a mess, most of them. And back in the day, it was up to you to keep your alley clean on that side, and of course everybody else did. And years ago, that was pretty good. Now it's horrible. And so the county's not doing that job. And so that needs to be addressed again. And they shouldn't have to do it. Whoever owns that property should be able to clean up their property from out to the middle of the alley. Everybody, then it'll be no problem. Okay, I'm sorry, I'll turn that off in a second. Well, there's probably a few other things, and if anybody else has got those same concerns, go ahead and mention them. And so I'll let it go back to there, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody else wants to address the matter?
Ma'am?
Sure. Please state your name and address for the record. So.
My name is John Chavez, and I'm at 5463 8th Street. And I just wanted to say I'm very, I'm looking forward to having a sheriff here in the community. I think it's a mistake that we haven't had one for as long as we have. And not just for law enforcement, but I mean, there are a lot of us who are getting older who have health issues who wouldn't mind somebody running around with an AED in the car. You know, somebody else who can help in the community. So no, I just wanted to say I'm all for it. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Anybody else? Sure.
Norman Martin, I live at 5909 Hornway. I second everything both of them said. I miss our sheriff. CHP is always in town. I've talked to a few of them. They're short-handed like everybody else, but we need to do something because this town's getting crazy. I find bullets in my backyard. Every intersection in this town's full of Brody marks. There's fences tore up because people ran through fences. So
We need to change that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Yes.
Ricardo Cardenas, 4700 Lucinda Avenue. I moved in here about 30 days ago. I've only been here a month. And I got a text from somebody about the meeting today, so I came by. And same thing, I've only been here 30 days and I've almost hit 2 people. I've almost been hit once on the stop signs, the music, a lot of music. So if there's gonna be a committee or anything going on, I'd like to get involved and we'll get a couple things going. I'll bring a lot of, from Modesto, from the county that we've done, these kind of issues with the alleys, with the stop signs and law enforcement. So if anything, I'd like to be on the committee.
Thank you. Anybody else before we move on? Okay, hearing nothing else, next thing we've got is the approval of minutes for October 19th, 2023. And,
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the October meeting.
I read the minutes, but I was absent.
Yes.
I didn't attend that meeting. I read the minute. To me, it looks okay, so I'll second that.
Okay, first and second, to approve the minutes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we'll go to our monthly reports. First up, Stanislaus County Sheriff's Office.
Mayor, my name is Deputy John Moss. This is my first time. I'm new to this assignment, so please go easy on me. I did pull the stats. The ones that we have are for December, and they're not much different than the previous month. Nothing of interest really pops out. I did notice that you guys mentioned some traffic issues. On here, we did make 22 traffic stops compared to 28 the previous month. And then there were 15 vehicle code violation complaints. But everything else is pretty on par with the previous month.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, next up, California Highway Patrol. Oh, sorry.
Can I have a question?
Yes, sure, go ahead.
How about gunshots? This town is like a war zone.
It's the over New Year's.
Not even New Year's anymore. I found a 40 cal bullet in my backyard the other day. It random hours, 10, 12, 20 shots at any given time. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Did we come and collect it?
No, I still have it.
But I called the sheriff's office about shots
Yep, there were,
3 or 4 weeks ago.
the sounds of shots fired, there were 3.
Oh,
For the
wow.
month of December.
Okay.
I'm talking about December, so
Right,
not
right.
recently in January, we don't have the stats yet, so.
I don't want to call every time I hear gunshots because I'll be
No, but if you
first
have,
name basis with you guys.
if there's like evidence for us to collect, yeah.
Oh.
Like if you do have a bullet for us to
Yeah, I have
collect,
an actual bullet.
yeah, give us a call during the day and we can come out and collect it.
Yeah, you're not going to get fingerprints off of it. but-
No, not fingerprints.
Yeah.
There is a system, a NIDA system, that they can run the bullet through to see if it's related to a
Okay.
crime gun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's worth a shot.
10 o'clock at night till 2 o'clock in the morning. It's pretty random.
Yeah.
And like he said earlier, loud noise. Sometimes 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, it's still going on.
Okay, is the California Highway Patrol here? Okay.
Good evening, I'm Officer Arias with the California Highway Patrol out of Modesto. I will be taking over the community officer duties going forward from Officer Moore. Same thing, it's my first time, so I pulled some stats since the last meeting. In total, here in Keys, we had 14 accidents reported to us. 7 of those accidents were just non-injury collisions. 2 of the accidents were minor injury, which means somebody either had anywhere from broken skin to transportation to the hospital. We had 4 hit and runs that were also just property damage. Nothing major as far as accidents, no fatalities. We also had 3 calls for vehicles blocking various roadways throughout the city here, throughout Keys. As far as the Brodies that you were talking about, we've had a total of 7 calls for service since the last meeting to us. So the one thing you have to remember is if you call from your house landline, those calls do not go to our center. They generally get directed to Stanislaus County. If you call from your cell phone, they get directed directly to us. So those stats can be a little bit higher. I wouldn't know if it was because it doesn't come to our comp center. We've had a total of 13 stolen vehicles out of this area. 10 reports here out of Keys. 3 of those vehicles were found back within Keys here, abandoned. Most of them were on Lucinda Road here. As far as our department goes, we are down about 11 officers. However, this last volume transfer, we have added 3 officers and have not lost any. The department has also gone to the 12-hour shifts, so 2 shifts instead of the 3 that we had, which would essentially put anywhere from 5 to 6 officers more per shift back on the road. Doesn't seem like much, but it's leaps and bounds from where we were. I believe on the 3-hour shifts we were having maybe 1 officer to 2 officers per area because of the way that the shifts would lay throughout the week. We also have a new captain, Captain Mayo Banuelos. You more than likely will be meeting him here in the near future. He's going to be coming to these meetings as well. And if you guys have any issues, like I said, I'm going to be the community service officer from now on. Relay them to the office, call Modesto CHP. I will be the one that, for the most part, comes out to handle those concerns.
On the stop sign running,
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna say mine is the worst one, 9th and Lizzie. I know, because I don't live by some of the other corners, I'm sure they have the same problem. I know they do, but to what extent? What I wanted to say was, if you've got an officer that can come to town for a certain amount of time, like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you can park down the street on Lizzie, and half the cars run that stop sign, probably more. Coming northbound on 9th Street, and 9th Street has a stop sign there at Lizzie, and then at 9th Street bends to the north. It's a blind spot, and there's been accidents there. If an officer would park right there in front of my house, he can get one every 3 minutes, guaranteed.
Okay.
And so if you can help that, that would be great.
Yeah.
That would go down. One more thing about that too. A lot of towns have those signs. I remember seeing them. Run the stop sign, $275. Why? That would probably be county work maybe, I don't know. But if they put that up on these stop signs, maybe that would help slow these girls down. A lot of them are just girls going to school with their kids. Thank you.
Question back there?
One more thing, I talked to one of your officers just the other day, who was sitting in town, and I didn't know it, and I'm sure a lot of people don't. You guys take care of traffic in Keys, where Sheriff's Department takes care of crime in Keys?
Correct. So we handle all traffic in unincorporated areas. The sheriff handles most of the domestic issues.
So I think, I guess the second part of my question is, I think a lot of people in town automatically call the sheriff because it's county. So you might not get, I guess it goes to a 911 if they don't do that, but I don't know how to let people in town know that if it's a traffic, call you guys, if it's crime, call the sheriff.
And you can just call, it doesn't really matter. I mean, obviously, we don't want to tie up 911
Exactly.
lines
Yeah.
with non-emergency. However, I don't know about the landline system, but through the cell phone system, even if you call 911, our operators automatically going to ask you if it's an emergency or not. And if you say no, they'll direct you to the non-emergency line. They'll switch you right over. So you're not tying up that line. But yeah, by all means, just call, even if it goes to the sheriff, It takes a little bit longer for us to get it, but it gets redirected from them to our dispatch and so on and so forth. But, the reason that I mentioned the two systems is because if we don't hear about it, we might get a complaint for, somebody doing donuts in the intersections, and we get it 15, 20 minutes after it actually originated. By the time that our officers get out to the scene, everybody's
Waste
gone,
of time, yeah.
right? And in regards to that, if you guys, I know it's hard to report things, right? You don't want to be caught in the middle of any of these situations if things end up going to court and stuff like that. Unfortunately for us, unless we see some of those actions, we can't enforce, right? However, when it comes to reckless driving, donuts, that kind of stuff, if you happen to catch it on video and we get a good license plate on that vehicle, we can issue seizure orders. We can request one from a judge. We can take the evidence to them and they can decide whether or not we can do something about it. At the very least, we have letters that we send out, and say, hey, your vehicle was spotted doing this, to the registered owner, obviously, right?
Mhm.
Be mindful if we let you use your vehicle, please, be aware that this can lead to, actions up to an arrest or impound of the vehicle, that kind of stuff. So there's things that we have in place that we can use, but we just need to know about them.
I lost my train of thought, but that's all right. Do you have a non-emergency number for the CHP?
Yeah, it's,
Can I get that? Do you have it?
I know it off the top of my head, 209
Yeah,
356 2900.
thank you.
Do you have a business card of your own? Do you? No?
I not yet, so I will as soon as the state decides to send them to me. But you can always get a hold of me via the office. Call my office. Francisco is my first name. Arias is my last name. Just let them know that you have a message for me, or you can either leave it on my voicemail, or they can give me a handwritten message. Like I said, my primary duties are going to be the community, services. So I'll be taking care of all state facilities and coming out to these meetings with you guys, also handling complaints like that, right? So when we get an area like the intersection by your house and we continuously get that, you'll probably end up seeing me there for a couple of days to try and curb it, right?
Yeah.
I can't guarantee you I'll be out there, for hours on end,
No.
but because we cover the county, but I will be out there.
That's why I said there's a certain time when parents key it. Because they're picking up their kids at school and they going home and they don't see that stuff.
Yeah.
And that's, them girls got their kids in the cars and they're gonna wreck somebody bad there. And they've already done some of that. The other thing is, what you said about the sheriff not doing traffic. Yes, but if they're in town and they see something wrong, they can stop them.
No, correct. And I don't mean that they don't handle any traffic.
Yeah.
What I mean is our primary duties, right, is the
Yeah, I
traffic.
understand that.
But anybody can take enforcement regardless
Yeah.
of what the crime is, the same as us. We handle whatever we come across. It doesn't matter what it is.
So when I grab that guy when he runs that stop sign, I got a hold of you and I call you, how long is your response time?
Well, hopefully not too long, right? So, like I said, it's changing. It's changing slowly. So I've been in this community. So I grew up here. I grew up in Salida. Been here my whole life. I've worked in Modesto. They're going on 10 years now. I worked night shift most of the time for about 8 years. I worked keys a lot at night, so I know what you're talking about. And like I was telling you earlier, our staffing has gotten better, but what's going to make a big difference, in my opinion, is going to be the 12-hour switch shift, right?
Right.
So as opposed to having, and just an example, right, as opposed to having 4 units at night, we would have to split those 4 units, 2 officers per car, right, to 4 areas in the county. So we would do most of the time the East County, South County, and the West County, right? Now you're talking about you're up until midnight, you're doubling that amount of officers. So you got an officer that works specifically on 99 southbound and northbound here south of the river, which is one area, and then you have an officer specifically assigned to this area east of the freeway, in Keys and Turlock and Hickman, so this county area, and then you have 2 officers assigned the same way, one north of the river on 99, and then another one on the the northeast side of the county, one on the northwest side of the county, one on the southwest side. So it's, now instead of having a guy having to come from North Modesto to get all the way here, now you got two guys that are in the area, right? So it makes it a little bit better for responses.
And then get your cell phone out and take a picture of that car.
Don't do anything that's gonna cause you guys to get in this situation though. Just
Got a question?
be good witnesses.
Going back to fireworks, what can be done about that? It's bad. We have commercial grade over our house. Not good.
Launching the air fireworks.
Yeah, we have to pick up debris in our backyard, the dogs eat it, and not good.
I mean, the only thing that I can tell you is just call.
Call it in.
We have to, yeah, and it all goes back to the same thing, right, is we can't do much until we see somebody doing it.
Right.
But calling it in, you know, we do have, I don't know the stats off the top of my head, but I can tell you here, last year we probably confiscated a good amount of fireworks. I did myself, what they call cakes, right? The cakes that people light off and it shoots like 100 out.
Yeah.
So we do, when we make traffic stops, we do come across it a lot. But the best thing to do is just call. I know sometimes it seems like, hey, I don't want to bother them, you know, I don't want to tie up the lines. However, we do have that non-emergency number for that reason, right? And even if it's not our area or our response area, just like any of the other agencies, we will redirect to the correct agency so that they may respond. You know, it's just a matter of getting a call from you guys and working together.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Francisco.
No problem.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody here from the fire district? No? Then Stanislaus County Public Works, Elliot?
Hello, I'm Elliot from Stanislaus County Public Works, and I just want to let everybody know we've been doing our regular sign and pothole maintenance. We also had reconditioned the pumps on the north side of the town over there, and we're gonna have probably 4 or 5 days of rain coming up. So if you guys have any flooding problems, go ahead and call our office, and we're in pretty good shape though, I think, with the floods. Other than that, just been doing our normal maintenance stuff around here. Do you guys have any questions?
I live in the cul-de-sac on Hornway, 10th and Hornmar.
Okay.
Noticed today that the either northwest corner, that sidewalk is all cracked and the drain is sliding off. So that's gonna be an issue. I think water's getting under there already. The streets are all cracked up and water's getting underneath the asphalt and it's shrinking.
Our office number is 525-4130. You can call that number, or we have a Stand Connect app, and you can take a picture of the whatever, if it's a graffiti sign, clogged drain, cracked sidewalk, and go in the app and take a picture. And
How about street signs?
yeah, street signs.
Street signs, they'll replace street signs too?
Yeah, or first we'll try to clean them.
Yeah,
We
it's
only
wore
clean them
out.
so many times.
Yeah,
Has one letter on it.
Some of them are faded out, but the sign is not even
yeah.
effective.
Yeah, it's faded.
Grace is
It's
an R.
faded,
It's a
our-
C.
I mean.
One letter.
Our signs actually have a graffiti film on them, so we can clean them over and over to get lots of use out of them. But you know, they get shot a lot too. So.
Okay, any other questions? There you go, Elliot. Keys Library, Alberto.
Could I turn this up?
Hello everyone, my name is Alberto and I work for the Stanislaus County Library, here specifically at the Keys Library. Just some current things happening. We do have a winter reading challenge going on starting January 1st. It will go all the way to January 31st. It's open for all ages. There's different prices available, so it's happening digital, where you get a digital ticket that you can put for the different prizes. If you want more information, you can just visit our website for that. Also, there is a story time survey that we've put out. I believe I put it in the post office. There's one here at the Water District. And then, of course, we have them in front of the Keys Community Center. And the story time survey is just trying to get feedback from the community to see what date and time will work best for story time for the toddlers, and just trying to get as much feedback as we can to just start that hopefully soon. We're hoping February or March. We do have paper copies too if you're interested in filling it out. And then the last day to fill this survey is the 25th. Once we get all those surveys, again, we'll make a decision of when to do the story time. Then upcoming events in March, we'll have our cover-to-cover reading program. This is a program in partnership with In-N-Out, where kids ages 4 to 12 read 5 books or 300 minutes, and they get a free certificate for a hamburger or a cheeseburger from In-N-Out. And they can do that a total of 3 times. And it's pretty much just reading any type of book or material, and it's just to promote reading. And the last thing, in April we'll have our DIA, also known as Dia de los Niños, Dia de los Libros, Day of the Child, Day of the Book. This is just a day to celebrate children, families, and reading, and it's just to emphasize the importance of literature throughout all our cultures and all linguistics. Usually this program consists of bilingual story time, a craft, and then a book giveaway. We haven't specifically decided on the day for Keys to have it, but it will be between April 13th and the 30th. And this is a county-wide program, so it's going to be throughout all 13 libraries in Stanislaus County. That's all I have. Any questions in regards to the library? Okay. And then just really quick, so we are no longer next to the elementary school. We are inside the Keys Community Center in partnership with the Police League. Thank you.
Okay. Next, Stanislaus County PAL.
You guys are taking notes.
Taking notes, right?
Hi, I'm Agustin Torres. I'm actually an adult detention deputy, but my special assignment is the police activities leads. And what I do there, I'm the deputy director, so where I am heavily involved with the youth and with the community. What that means is I get to come out and I can go from running with kids, playing sports, to creating a bond between law enforcement and the kids and the community. With that being said, I did bring Leticia Gonzalez, who's a field supervisor, and she can tell you guys a little bit of our projects that we've worked on. And I think there's a lot that we do in Keys that a lot of people don't really get to hear what we do and what we offer. But we are located at 5506 Jenny Avenue. And yeah, we work with Alberto and the library. And one thing that he didn't mention that I really enjoy is seeing the kids. So they come in and they have little prizes for them. So they can come in and not just get books, but they can also walk out with a little gift. So thank you, library.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Leticia Gonzalez. I'm fairly new to this community. However, I feel that we've made a big impact ever since, I joined as field supervisor here at PAL. Currently, last year we did shop with PAL. We helped 3 families from this community go shopping for toys, for Christmas gifts, for clothes, so that was really great. We've done activities like Lights On, to where we hosted 30 kids. We've done a fall dance where we had 40 kids on a Friday afternoon. So our goal is to work around these kids. So I really encourage you, if you have children of your own, granddaughters, grandkids, nieces, nephews, to come out to our center. We are open Monday through Friday, 2 to 6, and then Wednesdays from 1 to 6. Currently some projects that we got going on is that I'm working on our kids from the center to start cleaning up the park. So don't mind us if you see us there. Thank you.
So something that I like to share is, So yeah, we do engage with the youth and the kids, but also there's been some instances where some stuff has been brought to our attention, like, hey, you might want to look or talk to this child. You know, it looks like he needs shoes. We make it happen. We make sure that the student, the child, that they're gonna get shoes. We work with other nonprofit organizations to where someone is always willing to step in and help us to provide shoes. And then the next thing was, I was notified that a family of 8 needed couches. So again, I reached out to our partners and I was able to get them not only just couches, but we got them futons, which now the kids can actually sleep on there. And then I'm proud to announce that one of the kids from this family, from this community, actually reached out to me and had a personal conversation where he tells me that he wants to go in law enforcement. So I told him when I was 16, I was a Sheriff Explorer, and I'm an Explorer Advisor now. So I explained the process, and I'm happy to announce that as of December, he is now holding a badge. So hopefully he can continue his dreams, and it would have never been brought to my attention if it wasn't because of the engagement that we have at the community center.
Good deal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Moving right along, anybody here from Supervisor Conduit's office? No. How about Assemblyman Juan Alanis? Okay. Stanislaus County Chief Executive Officer.
Talk about timing, huh?
Oh, boy.
I'm so sorry I was late, but seriously, I can't divide myself into multiple meetings and just be at all of them at one time. I wish I could. Erica Ignacio with Stanislaus County Chief Executive Office. It's a good turnout today. What did you do this time?
You did.
You did? That's awesome.
Well, because you said that, I've made some flowers.
Yeah.
Flowers.
Flowers.
Flowers work.
That was a good idea. I saw the flowers on the flyer. Anyway, I put them on some of the businesses around town 2 weeks ago, and I told them that I would take it down tomorrow after this meeting, and everybody agreed. However, the first thing I did, I put one on your door here.
Yeah, yes.
And so my question is, who took it down, and tell me why you would do that, and why wasn't allowed or whatever.
I don't know. It was, they just they showed me the flyer, but they didn't say that they had taken it down or put it anywhere or whatever.
Well, it was down within a day or two. Well, that was a Saturday when I put it on. So the next couple of days, when I was going by the street, I said, oh, somebody took the flyer down. Why would they do that? So I took another one and I put it inside the water company here, and she put it in for me.
Wow.
But anyway, is that a problem?
No, I want to see people here, because for the last 10 years that I've been here, sometimes there's only been one person out here, right?
Well,
That's true.
Well,
Yeah, so thank you very much.
Well,
Yeah.
I need some help, people in here to address these concerns and show the government that we want these things done.
Sure.
And so, if you're hearing me, bring some more people. If anything else,
We want them not
got a
just
problem.
there, but at the district meeting too.
Because that's what this meeting's about, is to get what we need here. And like I said, the number one thing is that 24-hour shift, which will solve a lot of problems. Okay, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, sorry.
Oh, by the way, you missed a good movie.
A movie? A movie?
Yeah, you just got here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. All right, so again, I apologize for being here late, but Erica Ignacio was the Stanislaus County Chief Executive Office. My role here is basically to help facilitate the discussions, try to connect the community with specific resources that the county provides. The county does have 26 different departments, and each one of them obviously is charged with something different, from public works to behavioral health and recovery services to community services agency. So there's a variety of services that we provide. And as you know, yes, it's government, so everything has a policy, a procedure in place, there's a process in place. I like to say some of the things have gotten quicker at being addressed, other things, it's still a process that we need to go through. But my charge, again, is basically to be here, hear the concerns from the community and vice versa. However, I just recently got promoted, which is a good thing. I got promoted to Deputy Executive Officer. I will still continue to oversee the Community Relations Manager position, so I will continue to have a pulse in the community and trying to find out, how can we continue to provide support or address the gaps in communication that might be going on or whatever the case may be. So I'm here, your representatives are here, they're available. If you see them outside in the community somewhere, they know the role that they have as being a member of the MAC. So they know that if you ever want to reach out, you can. I will also leave some of my business cards, so it's not just waiting until we have a MAC meeting to bring up a concern. However, it does make it a lot easier when we have a MAC meeting here, because more often than not, you will have your Board of Supervisors member. So for you guys, it's Chance Condit and Vito Chiesa. Vito Chiesa has more of the outskirt as it pertains past this section here, but obviously Chance Condit has more of the town part of it. At times we will, and I know that the sheriff just left, the sheriff's deputy just left, because I saw him as I was almost passing the stop sign. So there is the sheriff, and then we obviously have other departments that are here for public works and whatever the case may be, right? If there is an ongoing concern that you want to receive additional information about, or just to be more aware and understand the process, if you let us know today, we can plan accordingly to have somebody from that department that is more the expert to be able to address those questions for you. So that's kind of the way that we work. We hear you, we try to facilitate the discussion, and I always try to reaffirm that it doesn't fall on deaf ears. It's just that sometimes we can't react as quickly as we possibly would like to. I know the concern about having a 24-hour sheriff station here. I can tell you that the one that has most recently been given or granted that is the Salida town. And Salida is a big town. So that is one of the things I think that they have. They opened up the substation there, and they're in partnership, I believe, with the fire department. They're in Salida. So it's not sometimes just about allocating the personnel here. It's about like finding the location and the right combination for it, because you still have to maintain the facility. The other thing that I want to be cognizant about is that as our deputies are out in the community, if you take the time to notify us and let us know what are some of the ongoing concerns that you have, if it's the same area, as they look at the data, they know where they need to allocate the personnel to be more often at, like if they know that there's a specific area that needs to be addressed. I can tell you that yes, in the unincorporated towns, speed is definitely one of the things that comes up a lot. People rolling through the stop signs, requests have been made to add speed bumps. There's a process for that, and I can tell you that we have also had situations where we have added the speed bumps, and then it creates more chaos, because then the trucks, or like the other thing that we need to take in mind is like if it's a main artery of providing transportation, or for emergency vehicles, that might be another thing that we need to consider. So there's just a lot of stuff that we hear out in the community and that we've already been made aware. It's just that sometimes we don't have a solution at that moment in time. But we will come back and give you that update and give you those bad news if that's what we have at that moment. But at least we will come back and continue to maintain communication with you. So, that's it. Any questions?
Yeah.
Yes.
Been here several times.
Yes, you have.
Still haven't seen anybody from supervisor's office where we can get some of these things done.
Russell was here actually at one of the last meetings, and
Okay.
Supervisor Chance Condit was here as well.
So put a bug in their ear or whatever it takes to get somebody out here at these meetings. That's what they're for.
Yeah.
I want them to hear it personally and do
Absolutely.
something about it.
I will make sure that he gets that notification when I go back to the office tomorrow morning. Okay. Anything else? Thank you.
Stanislaus Regional Transit.
Yes, I've just got a couple of things. In addition to sitting on this board, I also sit on the Transit Authority's Board of Directors as well. Since our last meeting, we've made some revisions to our schedule, so things are running a lot better. Through this area, the bus runs up 7th Street, going northbound at around 20 minutes past the hour and heading southbound at 45 to 50 minutes past the hour. So, and the system's running real well. You can connect in Turlock to Turlock Transit as well as Merced Transit. And our service goes all the way north to Oakdale. So you can get a lot of places on the bus. It's $2 a day. There's a regular fare, seniors and disabled ride for $1 a day. And veterans and active duty service members ride free. And so give us a try. Do you have any questions? Okay.
All right. Okay, Keys Community Services District. I put this letter on the website, but I want to read it to you. It says, "Greetings. On behalf of the Keys Community Services District Board of Directors, employees, and myself, I would like to wish everyone a happy new year. It is going to be a good year for the district as we move forward with our ongoing construction projects coming to fruition. The project that we're anxiously awaiting to start is the construction of our granular activated carbon filtration system that will eliminate the chemical 1,2,3-trichloropropane from our drinking water. The construction of this project will take place on the empty lot located at the southeast corner of Jenny Avenue and Brianna next to the Pal Community Building. The plans and specifications are 99% complete and have already been reviewed and approved by the Division of Drinking Water. It is anticipated that the project advertising will take place in February and the bid opening will take place in March or April. Construction will start this summer. There are other construction projects to follow once our granular activated carbon filtration system is complete. Again, we will be oversizing a sewer line on Nunes Road from 7th Street to Washington. This will allow us to accommodate additional properties south of Nunes Road in our sewer collection system. There is a standing request to extend the district's boundary all the way to Barnhart by annexing all of the properties along Golden State from Nunes to Barnhart. I will be requesting the Board of Directors to schedule a Saturday workshop in February for the purpose of reviewing our ongoing projects in our 5-year capital improvement program. Other issues to be discussed will include the district's financial status and future budget requests. Excuse me. The public is invited to attend this workshop. This will be an informal meeting where you will have the opportunity to ask questions and express your views and thoughts regarding any issue having to do with the district. You will be notified of the date and time of the workshop once the Board of Directors selects a date. And this will be on Tuesday, next Tuesday, the 23rd at 1 o'clock. The district will be meeting here and they will set a date for a Saturday workshop. Now again, they only have jurisdiction over sewer, water, and street lights. Okay, so just so that you know. One of the things that we're also anxiously awaiting for is also the design of a new building for the district. This afternoon I went over to the County Public Works Office and I submitted our application for the abandonment of Jenny Avenue right here to the north of us so that we can get half that street and be able to expand our building. Any questions? Yes.
What was the filtration for?
It's to remove what they call 1,2,3 trichloropropane. And it was a chemical that used to be in the fumigants for the farmers so that they could kill off the worms. And that infiltrated some of the 2 wells. But it's very minute, but still it is something that needs to be addressed. The project is going to cost $10.4 million. Well, that's the engineer's estimate, you never know. But again, all that money is going to be paid by the bipartisan infrastructure law that they passed 2 years ago.
What happened to the arsenic that was in the water?
The arsenic is well below the compliance.
Still
We
there.
have an arsenic treatment plant already in operation. It's been operating now for going on 5 years, right? Ken?
August 29th, 2019.
Yes. So there's no issues with the arsenic here.
Well, when the arsenic was an issue, didn't the paper say that it was still not, even though it was drinkable, it wasn't really low enough?
Well, it is low enough. It has been for 5 years. Before we had an arsenic treatment plant, the maximum contaminant level by the EPA was 50 parts per billion, and they dropped it to 10, and our wells were anywhere from 12, 14, 16 at the highest. But now, Kevin and his employees, they operate the plant, they ensure that it is below the 10, that,
So people with health issues can drink the water safely?
yes, oh yeah. I've been
I
saying
drink
that
it
for the
daily.
longest time.
And we take tests daily as the plant runs. It's tested daily. And we have to do weekly lab samples, but we do daily grab samples at the plant to ensure that it is under the 10 parts.
Right. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, then information item, none, action item. We have nomination and election of MAC officers for 2024. So we have chair, vice chair, and secretary. So we can start off with chair. Any motions for chair?
Okay, I nominate Arnie for chair.
There's a nomination for me as the chair.
I'll second that.
Okay, there's been a first and second motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Say aye. Opposed? Okay. We move on to vice chair.
Okay, I nominate Stephen for vice chair.
I second that motion. Okay, first and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, none. Secretary,
Let's Arnie table that for next meeting. Hopefully we will have Josie and Jeff
okay,
next meeting.
I agree. Let's go ahead and table that.
okay, sounds good.
Discuss that one at that time.
Very good, okay, I concur. All right, moving right along, correspondence, I don't have any. And then council comments and suggestions for future agendas. You guys got anything that we should put in the agenda or?
And Ernie, just to clarify, your next meeting is April 18th, not January 18th. That was a typo on my behalf. I apologize.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So remember that you guys have moved your meetings to quarterly. However, it doesn't prevent you from calling any special meetings if something needed to be brought forward.
Yeah, you know, I've been thinking about that, and I think that once we start, like, for example, a lot of projects, like with our water treatment and with the design on this, I think that we should meet at least once every 2 months.
Okay, and again, we can always call a special meeting.
Yeah.
It just requires a
But
72-hour
we'll discuss
notice.
that, because here's one of the things that I want, and this is one of the reasons why I'm having Christie record this meeting, because I want the entire community to know what's happening with our community so that we can all work together. We have, because of grants, we have the opportunity to do lots of things without you people worrying about getting your water rates or sewer rates raised, okay? The best days of this district are ahead of us, and we want to make sure that everybody knows what's going on. There's somebody over on Rosalina that came and jumped me because he says, hey, I don't want that water treatment going on there. That's supposed to be a playground or park or something. And I said, hey, that left the barn. This happened a long time ago. We had MAC meetings regarding all of this, and But again, we've always had a problem with people wanting to attend, and that's why I really appreciated what Mr. Winder here did here. And this is why I want to put this on Keys City News so that, and on Facebook, so that we can get more people involved. Yes?
Can we do an announcement along with our water bill? Can you guys put a newsletter or something in there?
I'm going to be putting this letter that I did, and I also translated it into Spanish, and it will be going out with the bill at the end of this month.
It helps us to know things are happening, because we didn't see his flyer.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned it, we put it on the ring notice to let people know.
Yeah, well, that was his own doing, so
Yeah, and he helped though.
Yeah, I know, it's great. I'm glad. I'd rather have a room full of people
Right.
here than
What's
just
the
us giving reports to each other, you know?
What's the Keys Community News, where's that at?
Yeah, what is that? We don't
Like
know
the
that.
Keys City News.
Yeah, what is that?
It's on the internet. Facebook.
Oh, that's the Facebook one?
Yeah, and if you
Okay.
go on there, a lot of people put a lot of announcements there as far as selling tacos and
Yeah,
everything.
which is not,
I've got
we
that
want to
already
know
read.
what's happening here.
Yeah,
You guys
yeah.
do newsletters.
Yeah, because see, we don't have a local newspaper, okay?
Yeah.
And all you hear is you read about news in Ceres and Modesto and Turlock. And because there isn't a local one here, I decided, well, you know what, I'm gonna use Keys City News so that you guys will at least know what's happening with the district.
Well, now that I know that that's this,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know now. I have it, so.
You're gonna put a notice in with the water bill, that's good. Do it in bigger letters. Because what you're gonna tell them is, we're gonna have a meeting come, so it shouldn't take a whole lot, but put it as big as you can get it, so. Because if people read that thing that you get in there all the time,
Let's skip right over
you
it.
can't see that,
Okay.
okay?
Yeah.
Give them something they're gonna read, not just throw away.
Our eyes aren't so good anymore.
You gotta take care of us bifocal wear.
Yeah.
All right, okay. All right, anybody else got anything before I?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
I'm from Stanislaus County, VHRS.
Oh, great, great.
DHRS.
Behavioral
So
health.
I'm actually from Stanislaus County Behavioral Health and Recovery Services. My name is Horacio Madueño, and I am part of the Stanislaus Mobile Crisis Team that is new to the county. We are a program that responds to psychiatric mental health crisis calls and drug and alcohol crisis calls. We work in partnership with law enforcement in the county, so with Sheriff's Department, and then we're also embedded with Modesto Police Department to respond to these calls. We do receive our referrals through 911 dispatch, but as of January 1st, we are starting to respond to community public calls, so community generated calls. And as of January 1st, we are also a 24/7 program, so we are available 24/7 in the community. The phone number to be able to reach us would be either the 911 dispatch. If there is a mental health crisis, you can always call it in and just let them know the situation, whether it's somebody you know, yourself, or somebody that you're observing. You can let them know, hey, there's a possible mental health crisis and we need somebody to come and respond. They can actually deploy our team through dispatch. But the other phone number that you can also call is the CERT access line number. That's actually a 24/7 crisis support line. You can call and speak to somebody at any hours, and you can call for resources that are available in the community, or like I said, if it's a crisis, they can dispatch our team as well. And that phone number for that is going to be 1-888, so 1-888-376-6246. And we are also embedded with the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. So any calls that come in through there, if they're within the county, they will dispatch our team as well to respond to any active suicide, mental health crisis, anything that deems 5150 criteria, so danger to self, danger to others, gravely disabled criteria. We have clinicians that can go out into the field wherever the crisis is happening, and a crisis evaluation can be done. So if they need to be placed on a hold and sent for psychiatric evaluation, they can be hospitalized. And if not, if they don't meet criteria for the hospitalization, then we have a team of behavioral health specialists that can go out and engage, educate on services that are available, and facilitate that connection to mental health services or drug and alcohol services as well. Like I said, we are available 24/7 as of January. We've actually been operating since, responding to calls as of November 2022. And we've been slowly just kind of branching out, connecting with the different departments. So I know we started off with Stanislaus County Sheriff's Department, and then embedded with MPD, we actually have clinicians riding in the cars with MPD. And then with the other outliers, with the sheriff, we respond whenever they get a hold of us, whenever they contact us. But we are working on connecting with CHP. We've connected with Ceres PD, Turlock Police Department, and so we're working on connecting with all the agencies that are available in the county. Any questions? Basically, the purpose of this team is to reduce the number of unnecessary psychiatric hospitalizations. So, people that may not necessarily need to be in a hospital, and that way we can connect them faster to services, and then also reduce the unnecessary incarcerations. If we can get these people connected to services rather than them just going to jail and not getting the treatment, as soon as they get out, you start at the same spot. So the purpose of the team is to connect people that are not connected to mental health and drug and alcohol services. So, any questions? Okay. Again, that phone number is 1-888, so 888-376-6246. All right.
And you left flyers over here, right?
Yes, there are pamphlets there, and then the cards actually have the phone number on there as well. The card is in English and Spanish, and the flyers are in English that talks about our program and what we do. Okay?
Great. Thank you very much.
Yes. One quick question. I know it's all time and money, but is there a way to get all these numbers on like a flyer card to go out to people, or people can get, so the refrigerator type of paper? That's a good idea.
Yeah,
Contact paper? Refrigerator magnet?
Well, we have something similar, but not with everybody's. I can get that for you after.
I mean, it'd be nice for the community to know that. Yeah, call it, yeah.
Yeah, the district does have, got some refrigerator magnets, but we don't have all the information with the county departments, and those are the ones that are needed.
Actually, remember that I had handed out the resource flyers?
Yeah, there
was
some
a
flyers.
resource flyer that had like all the frequently called or sought numbers.
Yeah,
So what I can do is, I'll email it,
okay.
and then you can print them out if you like and put them at some at your office, because
Sure.
we're not gonna be meeting again until April.
Right.
But at least people, if they wanna see them, you have those numbers. So what it is just like the most frequently called numbers for Stanislaus County. It doesn't mean you can't call anywhere, right? But I'm just saying those are based on the phone calls that we constantly get. But in addition to that, if you're not familiar with the Stan Connect app, it's an app that you can download. It's something that we constantly bring forward that, if there's any like illegal dumping or anything of that sort, you can go to the Stan Connect app, report it, take a picture, provide your information, and it'll also give you an update of where we are on addressing that concern.
That also include random dogs?
Yes, so if you have animal services, they will go ahead and definitely receive that notification as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're
Somebody
welcome.
else have a question?
If I didn't, I apologize for jumping out of turn there earlier.
That's okay.
My issue is you can step right outside and smell it. These people that light these fires all the time, every day, are driving me out of my mind. My wife and I, twice we had to leave our house because we couldn't even stay in our own home. I'm 73 and she's 70. This is a big issue. It's, according to the penal code, it's against the law that you get a permit and it's a burn day. And these people burn stuff every day around here. It's driving me crazy. The secondhand smoke is too much. I gotta seek out some help from someone because it's just not fair. I've been in town for 46 years, and the last 3 years, it's been tough. The way the atmosphere is, the way the heady, the moisture in the air stays down, the smoke goes nowhere. It just kind of drifts. woke up, my house smells like smoke almost every day. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. I don't know, 'cause I live on the south side of town, and not to mention the school. You know, I don't know what happened to the kids, and the secondhand smoke is not good for anybody. I just had to mention that, 'cause I don't know where to go. It's bad.
So we have the San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control
I
District.
called them yesterday.
And they're housed in Modesto, right? I'm sorry?
Yeah, I called them.
Okay, so they would be the ones that can help assist and try to figure out how to address that?
Oh, well, okay, well, they told, okay, I'm sorry, go ahead. I can't, you have to speak up, I can't hear.
Oh,
you.
it's okay. So, did they give you any type of resources, or
No.
what did they say?
They said, I need an exact address. Well, guess what? I can't
Yeah.
give you an exact address when the whole sky is permeated
Yeah.
with smoke.
And I get that and I understand that, but in order for us, it's kind of like when we're trying to report a complaint to the sheriff's office about loud music or whatever,
Right,
right?
right.
Like, we need to be able to pinpoint it. So
But-
I understand, believe me, I understand the frustration that you're going on that part of
Okay,
it.
so what
but-
do I need to do then? If I can't, buy a drone and put a drone up in the air so I can
Give them
I
your
don't know,
address.
do that? But it's terrible. We've been driven out of our house. I'm retired and I can't even go outside.
Okay,
And even like right now, I can't go outside and work in my shop and I smell that stinking smoke all the time.
okay.
You smell like
And they're illegal fires.
You smell like marijuana?
No, it's not weed.
Okay, I got a question over here.
I've only been here 30 days in Keys, and everything you guys were talking about, I've dealt with it before. We come to the meeting here and nothing's gonna happen unless we get a committee together. We talk to Chance, we talk to Sheriff Dirksey, we talk to Captain Buñuelos, and we have him come to the next meeting and we put a date on it. Because we could talk about it now, we're gonna talk about it at the next meeting, we're gonna talk about, and all these people that we're gonna talk to, I know are very good people and they will help us, but it's gonna take time. We can't just talk about it and expect it to. We need to make a meeting, have them come, and I know the people at the top right now, they will listen to us. I've done it in another neighborhood, I've done it in Modesto, and they are very, very good listeners, and they will do it, but it does take time. But everybody here that talked about the complaint, we can't just talk about it and talk about it next meeting and next meeting. We gotta sit right now, talk to directors and have them commit them, send the letters, make the phone calls, or us, we can also call them. Put more, not pressure, because the people at the top right now don't need the pressure. They're very approachable, Chance or Sheriff or Captain, they're all very approachable. I've worked directly with them one-on-one on other communities and other matters, but we just have to get it and do it now so that they could be here, or that, not send the representatives. If we talk at one time, they will come themselves and be here at the next meeting. But we just have to.
I think it could be a matter of
We have to do it and just formally, not just talk about it, not be upset about it. Obviously, it's gonna take time, but once they come and they hear it, it'll be in their ear, and they can take the steps in the next months, next year. Because obviously, it's not gonna be something that's gonna happen in the next few weeks. But obviously, if we want it done, you're gonna have to start doing it now and get a committee, something going, and not just talk about it.
So great information, but I think my feedback is, again, this is your venue for you to have those discussions, because this is where they get scheduled to come and attend. You definitely can start a little subcommittee in the community and then try to come back together and report something as a collaborative, if you will, to the MAC. I know that right now there's just a lot for Supervisor Chance, so I'm sure that there was a reason why he's not here today. If not, he would have been here. But it is one of those things that I can go on ahead and ask if it's at all possible for him to be here in April and try to commit to that. And if for some reason that changes, that we know in advance, so that you are also aware. And we can definitely touch bases with him on that.
And they're very approachable.
He is. They all are. They all are.
We've worked very good together in the past, and but that's why we need to hurry up and get this going so that they can put it on their.
You know, children, kids speak their mind when they're younger. Maybe perhaps a little education thing to schools. Hey, mom and dad, we can't be doing this anymore because it's hurting us and so on and so forth. I can dig that. I'm not here to put everybody in jail or cause everybody to get a fine. I just want to be able to breathe. That's my issue.
Are you talking about backyard fires?
Pardon me?
You talking about backyard fires?
Yes, exactly. Like outside right now.
The campfires? Yeah.
Right outside, right now. I smell it every day. In the last 3 years, it's gotten so bad. It's not a nuisance anymore, it's a health issue.
I will do my best. I will go ahead and try to figure out if we can have some type of a recommendation.
That's all.
We have a fire department here. You call the fire department, they're supposed to come out and put out a fire.
They won't do that. They said they won't come out for the fire. I can't tell anybody Dr. Berger told me.
against.
So they're not an enforcement agency.
In the city limits, isn't
And
it?
what's up with that?
I asked that the first place I went to.
We used to have a volunteer fire department. They would come out and put out a fire.
But if I can't pinpoint it, you see, that's the other problem. See,
And that's the other thing. You can't get an address at night. And most of the time in the daytime, you can't. If you're like me, or some of us, you can't see that sign anyway. You gotta go to a street, this street and that street. Ninth and Lizzie, come on down here and take care of this.
If you like
Or
any
whatever.
reference, fine, people get back this.
And you're
Anyway,
right.
that was my issue this evening, that's all. I just want to let somebody know, I hope I'm not the only one, but I don't see anybody else saying anything about it. They just tolerate it. It's driving me crazy. I don't want to be able to breathe and go outside, be able to open my window. I can't do that.
What was your name?
Bill
Bill.
Hughes. I live right down the street here, right across the bus station. There's a lot, one house, I'm gonna block out the tile roof, a lot of jumping. But still, it's bad. There's times I wake up in the morning, at night, and everything smells like smoke. It used to be that way.
I haven't brought this up lately, but the Gasohol plant over there, they process the corn to make their
Right, right,
product.
right.
Well, you don't see this, but you breathe it every day, and I live 2 blocks from it, and the wind blows there, and I can wash my truck one day, and the next day I can ride on it, and it comes from there. I can't get nobody to do nothing about that.
I smelled it.
Yeah.
And plus that irritating noise over there, too, the room,
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
that thing is.
Oh, I forgot about that, didn't I?
Yeah.
About the freeway, noise,
Above the freeway noise, you got
or,
that
wall, or what, noise wall? what
The
do you call
sound
it?
wall.
The sound wall, right.
Yes, it was shared with Supervisor
Right,
Chance
nice.
Condit, so he has it on his radar.
Good deal, because that's Caltrans. I noticed they're building one in Delhi now. Okay, anybody else? Anything else before we adjourn?
I got an off question. How many taco trucks are in this town?
No idea.
How many more can we have?
14?
No, I'm just curious, because is there anything zoned for restaurant as opposed to taco trucks? Is that why we have taco? We eat them, we like them, I just think there's a lot of them.
No, well, with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. What?
Second.
Second? All in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah, thank you. Leftovers. Thank you, Bill.